And there you see still at the former president's club in Bedminster, there's some movement. I mean, there are people there outside those automobiles. Vaughn, what's the mood in Trump world since, well, the unsealing of the indictment?
Right. Despite what they say, nobody wants to face a knuckleball. And yet you have to face the reality that is that you're in the batter's box and Donald Trump is having to put together a defense legal team at the same time he is trying to run a political operation. His team is still quite small here around him, and that is part of the difficulty. As you saw, two of his key lawyers over the weekend, Jim Trusty and John Rowley, leave his defense team. Of course, there is concern. Of course, that's not also what they are publicly saying out loud. But what you did see here over the course of these last 3 days were some of his most ardent allies, like Lindsey Graham, go on television yesterday and continue to press the case, not so much in defense of Donald Trump, but questioning why Hillary Clinton was not charged. Of course, there are important distinctions between the two cases. FBI Director James Comey at the time said that there was no clear intent of mishandling of classified documents on the part of the secretary, but also that there was no clear obstruction of justice. That is very different than what Jack Smith laid out on Friday in his press conference. And that is where, for Donald Trump, the reality is that he is being forced away from his compound here in New Jersey to go down for this arraignment. And he is going to next year, if in fact this trial were to go forward, to have to sit in front of a courtroom. At the same time, though, there is the reality that these Republicans are facing, and Donald Trump's allies tell me they are not ignorant to, and that is that the likes of Ron DeSantis and Mike Pence are going to have to decide whether they continue to defend Donald Trump as they have in years past over these types of investigations, or do they put themselves in the position of being subjugated to being a part of the so-called deep state that Donald Trump has compelled his millions of supporters to look at this lens through? It's us versus them, and this is just another extension of that.
And so, Vaughn, as you're speaking, we've been showing these images, live images from our chopper of the caravan that is taking the former president from his home in the Bedminster Club in New Jersey to Newark International Airport. Well, he will board his plane and head down to MIA.